After 9 years and 6 seasons, Stephen Knight's award-winning drama Peaky Blinders is finally coming to its conclusion, but in a form that has only been that of rumours and suggestions for years. Peaky Blinders would officially begin filming a final instalment to the series in 2023, in the form of a motion picture. With the increase in shows getting revisited as movies, why has Peaky Blinders followed this trend, and instead of revisiting, concluded its saga outside of the TV format? Why is the conclusion of Peaky Blinders a cinematic one? From the offset, Peaky Blinders has always been a show admired for its bold and stylistic direction. Impeccable performances, screaming echoes of confidence that shine onto the entire series.
It's so nice to be writing knowing that the actors that you're using are so good. With this, you know what they're capable of, you know what you don't have to do, you know what you have to do. It's really a luxury to have this quality of the cast.
The showrunner Stephen Knight carried this boldness into his plan for the future of the show, right from the start, promising a 7-season run which would depict the events of the Shelby family and their criminal empire between the events of World War I and World War II, bridging the gap on an era of history that was less depicted in television. This plan was being executed to perfection. Very quickly, Peaky Blinders rose into popularity to become one of the BBC's leading programmes, and retained its steam throughout the years with high-quality writing and a mature and adult theme of PTSD in its lead Cillianmurphey, equally captivating with his performance showing the powerhouse of an actor he could be and creating an iconic performance.
No fucking fighting!
In 2020, the production was halted on season 6 due to the coronavirus pandemic, and this caused the plans to change entirely on how the finale of the show would pan out, with a movie very much still on the cards after the show's success. The following death of actress Helen McCrory did not help things at all, with one of the most beloved characters on the show now needing a fitting off-screen conclusion, and potentially halting any storylines that would have played a part in this finale. With the odds stacked against them, Season 6 is now successfully airing, and that brings up the question of why the movie is still going ahead after all this setback. We have seen the likes of El Camino and the Many Saints of Newark that reviving the show in a form of a movie is a fantastic way of introducing new fans to the IP without the intimidation of catching up on years' worth of television. The modern generation's lower attention span prefers the quicker and snappier format of a Disney Plus show and its shorter episode counts and quicker pacing. However, old school shows worked as a weekly format, and Peaky Blinders continues the legacy of the true weekly format by providing slow-paced long-form storytelling over a digestible amount of episodes that doesn't rely on filler. In a way, each season is already its own movie, and that fits the format perfectly. The Peaky Blinders movie is now speculated to take us fully into the events of World War II, which is one of the most important factors to note with these TV adaptation to movies, and that is the time skip. These films have the job to fully reintroduce the characters to people that haven't already seen the show, while staying true to the fans of the show. A time skip allows characters to move and grow and explore a different period of their lives, other than what the show did, keeping it fresh with new stories and settings, but with a character that is already known to its audience. The conclusion before COVID may have been the air raid sirens going off for the first time, but the plan has since changed, and the setbacks have not discouraged the enthusiastic team, and instead the story will evolve into the events of World War II. In true Peaky Blinders fashion, the show will dive headfirst into the horrific period instead of teasing it, and like the show, tell an untold story from a period people thought they knew, and carried the characters into that story, that will stand alone and work as a part of a bigger narrative. The appeal of the show is the fantastical old-fashioned gangster tale, with class and swagger of the 1920s and 30s, that is enough to prick up anyone's ears, and its success has only grown larger since Netflix's acquisition of it into their library, bringing a much higher budget from season 4 onwards, and bigger casting opportunities with buzzword celebrities like Anya Taylor-Joy and Adrian Brody bringing a larger level of credibility to the original modest-budgeted BBC drama. The show has since been escalating its story further and further as preparation for this cinematic conclusion, expertly woven into season 4 and 5 with the inclusion of the mobsters and the Nazi party levelling up the stakes from the mere horse race betting of season 1. Watching this small-time family rise up through the economic ladder to become elite members of society and eventually influential politicians that contribute to the events of the upcoming film, which will show the fallout of the mistakes and sacrifices needed to get to this point. So why go forward with a movie and instead cancel the plans and do season 7? So why go forward with the movie when you could instead cancel those plans and do a season 7? Well, the benefits of the brand are much more favourable towards a movie. A season 7 would simply give existing fans the conclusion they were looking for, but for such a valuable IP, the best interest is to keep the Peaky Blinders name going forward in different forms as its story runs towards its conclusion. We've already seen many examples of this in the form of the newly opened theatre production and video games that adapt the world of the show into other mediums, keeping it fresh and thriving. The results of a season 7 would effectively close the door on the story, but a movie could lead to a different spin-off show naturally, or even continue as cinematic experiences, which could be possible with cillianmurphey already being an actor familiar to audiences as a movie-level talent, so his name can carry new fans' interest going into the movie, and hopefully in whatever form the continuing story takes. Peaky Blinders depicts the struggle between wealth and family, and the connections you must sever in order to be successful. The tension from the show has been from how the incoming war will impact the Shelby Empire, and this lends itself so perfectly into a movie that separates the two sides of both building the empire and then toppling it. That will allow the movie to tell this different side of the coin, but still be a part of the existing narrative. Series 6 already begins with a 4-year time gap from Series 5, and this brings us to 1933. We can assume Season 7 would have bridged the gap entirely, without needing another time skip, which is where the movie will undoubtedly pick up from. It will only be a matter of time before we see the true effects a lack of Season 7 will have on the Peaky Blinders movie, but the ability to evolve the show into one of the biggest shows in modern British dramas already holds the film to an incredibly high standard.